The most shocking Hells Angels in history. Explore the shocking true stories of the most wanted Hells Angels and learn the shocking truth about the violent and treacherous past of this renowned gang. Get ready for a wild voyage through the horrific crimes, terrible acts, and lasting impact of these notorious outlaw biker gangs. The Hells Angels are an outlaw motorcycle club with a checkered history that formed in California in 1948. They were notorious for their savage fights, drug dealing, and threatening presence, leaving a trail of ruin and anxiety in their wake. This article explores the dark and bloody history of the Hells Angels and ranks the 10 most startling members in their ranks. These people's contributions to the world of illegal biker gangs, which include both horrible crimes and acts of brutality, will not be forgotten. Paul Mel Eichelt. A member of the American Hells Angels, Paul Mel Eichelt stood accused of a wide range of crimes, from drug trafficking to kidnapping and even murder. Some of the club's members may have claimed otherwise, but Eichelt's actions revealed a different picture. After being charged with these offenses in 2007, he fled the United States and was apprehended in 2011 in San Ysidro, Buenos Aires. Eichelt is included because of his penchant for risky behavior. Adam Lee Hall. A second infamous Hells Angels member was accused of 19 crimes, including murder and kidnapping. He was supposed to testify against 3 people, but they all mysteriously disappeared weeks before his testimony was due. The prosecution claimed that Hall and 2 others committed this horrible crime. Hall's place on this stunning list of Hells Angels is cemented by his illegal actions. Alan Pissarro. A member of the Hells Angels, Alan Pissarro killed Meredith Hunter at a free performance in Altamont in 1969. The Rolling Stones show went on as planned, oblivious to the violence in the audience. When Pissarro was initially arrested for murder, he claimed self-defense and was ultimately exonerated. The film, Gimme Shelter, captures a terrifying scenario that should serve as a warning to anyone planning on attending a music festival. David Wolf Carroll, or Wolf, as he was more well known, was a Canadian outlaw motorcyclist and mobster. He was a reliable assassin and drug dealer for the Quebec nomads of the Hells Angels. Carroll was found not guilty of first-degree murder in 1987. There were suspicions that he had gone to Brazil, a country that does not have an extradition treaty with Canada, after being charged with 13 charges of first-degree murder. George Weathern. Former vice president of the Oakland chapter of the Hells Angels turned state witness, George Weathern testified against former associates in the club. Weathern testified against the Hells Angels in court and went into witness protection after a police raid on his house turned up drugs, firearms, and 3 bodies. His whereabouts after stabbing pencils into his eyes in jail are a mystery. James Henry McCauley. As Rochester Hells Angels vice president, James Henry McCauley oversaw a methamphetamine trafficking organization that had a major impact on the region's narcotics trade. McCauley and his co-conspirators attempted to elude authorities, but were apprehended and brought to justice. Zane Wallace. After killing Jasmine Wilson, a mother of 2, with a savage assault, Hells Angels member Zane Wallace was given a life term in jail. People were outraged by the case and many demanded justice for Wilson and her family. Robert Chico Mora. Infamous Arizona biker gang leader Robert Chico Mora joined forces with the Hells Angels, helping them establish a stronghold in the state. Despite his lengthy criminal record, which includes convictions for manslaughter and murder, Mora is still held in high regard by his fellow Hells Angels. Despite his criminal history, he is still seen as the gang's leader. Yves Trudeau, also known as Apache or the Mad Bumper, was a notorious member of the Hells Angels motorcycle gang. He was the most prolific killer in the club's history due to his involvement in bombings and 43 admitted murders. Later, he was jailed for sexual assault and died of cancer in 2008, despite having been an informant for the authorities. Maurice Boucher. With a history of drug abuse and criminal behavior, Maurice Boucher eventually joined the SS, a white supremacist motorcycle gang that later became the notorious Hells Angels. He rose to power in a violent gang and gained a reputation for drug trafficking and other criminal activities. His tyrannical rule in Quebec sparked a bloody conflict that took many lives. Boucher was given a life sentence for ordering the killings of 2 prison officers and for attempted murder. The Hells Angels have forever changed the landscape of criminal motorcycle gangs, it seems. There have been many disturbing figures throughout their violent past, including Paul Mel Eichelt, Adam Lee Hall, Alan Pissarro, and others. Despite this, there is still a strong sense of fraternity and commitment among Hells Angels members. While the club's reputation for criminal behavior has attracted the attention of law authorities, it is possible that some members join for social reasons. This list is a grim reminder of the Hells Angels' legacy and the risks of lax security and oversight in groups like theirs. Hells Angels is one of the world's most infamous biker gangs and a part of the so-called Big Four organizations that operate illegally on 2 wheels. Today, we present a list of the top 5 things about the Hells Angels that you probably didn't know. The Hells Angels don't consider themselves to be a gang so much as a club. The word gang alone connotes that these people are involved in illegal activity. They fancy themselves a brotherhood that takes pleasure in wide roads and unrestricted travel, but the police department would disagree with you there. Law enforcement organizations around the world, including the ATF, FBI, and the U.S. Justice Department, consider the Hells Angels and other motorcycle gangs to be as dangerous as the mafia. Clubhouses affiliated with the Hells Angels motorcycle gang have been searched multiple times due to allegations of drug selling, gun running, and prostitution by the federal government. They've been linked to violent territorial disputes between rival gangs as well. One such conflict is the war against the Rock Machine in Quebec, which lasted from 1994 to 2002 and claimed the lives of over 150 individuals, including many bystanders. They served as security for a legendary Rolling Stones show. At the now famous Altamont Speedway event in December 1969, Hells Angels were hired from the San Francisco region to control the throng of 300,000. They were given complimentary beer worth $500 for their efforts. A lineup act from Jefferson Airplane was knocked unconscious by a Hells Angels security guard, and an 18-year-old concert goer named Meredith Hunter was stabbed to death by another Hells Angel named Alan Pissarro. After being charged with murder, Pissarro was found not guilty on the grounds of self-defense. Mick Jagger strongly criticized the Hells Angels following the deadly concert, which many see as marking the end of the hippie period. The comments were taken poorly by the club, and in 2008 it was reported that 2 Hells Angels had conspired to have Jagger murdered. Hells Angels engage in volunteerism. From poker runs to toy drives, the Hells Angels have supported organizations like the Red Cross, Toys for Tots, and Wounded Warrior. Fresno, California's chapter bought all the bikes at a neighborhood Walmart in December 2014 and gave them to kids at a homeless shelter. When they do the right thing, no one seems to notice. No one ever forgets what we've done wrong. However, they are not entirely unrecognized for their efforts. In May 2016, around 70 law enforcement police showed up to a fundraiser for a special needs school in Valparaiso, Indiana, even though the Hells Angels had done nothing unlawful in particular, and some charity events have been kept under surveillance by SWAT teams in case they need to leap in. There are hidden symbols in their patches. There is perhaps no other group save the Boy and Girl Scouts that values badges as highly as they do. Some of them are straightforward, while others are more esoteric. To give you an idea, consider the number 81, where the digit 8 represents the letter H and the digit 1 represents the letter A, and the initials HA stand for Hells Angels, another group that doesn't represent the wealthy elite, but rather any kind of criminal motorcyclists. This dates back to the 1960s, when the American Motorcycle Association allegedly made the statement that 99% of motorcyclists are law-abiding citizens and 1% are drunken criminals. A death head logo on the back of a garment indicates full membership, also known as a full patch. If they're just pretending, may the Lord protect them from actual Hells Angels. The Hells Angels filed a lawsuit against Disney. You might think that a club that routinely breaks the law like the Hells Angels wouldn't bother with the legal system, but hey, business as usual and all that. The Hells Angels, a criminal motorcycle gang with American and Canadian incorporation, take trademark infringement very seriously, claiming that Disney used the Hells Angels name and logo in the film Wild Hogs without permission. The group filed a lawsuit against the company in 2007. After Disney told them that they would be removed from the film, the company abandoned the lawsuit. The Hells Angels have filed lawsuits against numerous companies in an effort to safeguard their trademark trademarked name and logo, including fashion designer Alexander McQueen, toy retailer Toys R Us, and comic book publisher Marvel. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to our channel if you want to watch more videos like this.